I've learned, I guess, to, BRB. Hey guys, it's Sunday, February 21st. I feel like I need to start putting a timestamp on these vlogs because we're so far behind, and then we got out of order because we announced our really exciting news about our embryos before, like in the timing of our vlogs before that would have made its appearance. That was a weird way to say that. We did it a bit out of order because we were too excited to share that news with you. And then it's probably very confusing how the vlogs unfolded after that, because then we went back to when we were undecided about the embryos still. So today's February 21st. I have no idea what day it is for you. And it's Sunday of Brad's reserve weekend, so he left at 5 o'clock this morning. And the kids and I are going to go over to my dad's shop, and my mom's gonna come with us. I think my dad's already over there, but it's just something fun to do. They love playing at the shop, and we have good snacks in the RV from when we do RV trips. So they're like really excited to go over there so we can eat some good snacks. I'm talking like fruit snacks, Z-bars, like all the good stuff. So we're doing that. I also am excited because we have really good trail mix over there that I haven't been able to find lately. I like to get the trail mix that has, it's like the omega-3 trail mix that has craisins in it and walnuts, and it's just really good, but I haven't been able to find it lately. So I'll probably have a snack too in the RV. And in the event that, this part's still undecided, but in the event that we sell this house and build a house, the timing of that will probably mean that we will have a chunk of time that we don't have a house while we wait for the new house to be built. And so our thought is, if you haven't seen the last few vlogs, our thought is that we are going to live. Oh, the puzzle. There's one more. Where'd it go? Oh, the chicken? Put it in there. Bear, let her put the chicken in the puzzle. I can't believe how quickly, this is a total side note, how quickly the kids went from not being able to, are you okay, baby? Not being able to do a puzzle to all of a sudden being able to do a puzzle very reliably on their own with no help. It happened without me noticing it. It just like all of a sudden they could do it. So part of the agenda today is to go over to the shop and just kind of visualize where we'll be sleeping and what. We'll probably pick up over there and I'll show you what I mean. It'll make more sense when we're there. So we are at the shop now. My dad just informed me that it is 6,000 square feet and it doesn't have AC. It does have heat, and it has like floor radiant heat, so the floor would be warm as we walked on it, which is really nice. And I guess it's just like a way more efficient way of heating an area of this size. So that's good that we would have heat, but the AC thing is a bit concerning because, like I said, it's 6,000 square feet. However, heat rises, and if we had some AC units, I'm not sure. We'll have to kind of think about that one. But over here we have, that is my parents' RV that they just got last fall, and then we have Brad and I and our family's RV, and then this Bobcat, which I don't know, I assume it could hang out outside, or we could move it like in front of our RV here, although we'll probably be taking our RV multiple times throughout the time that we would stay here. And then I guess my point is we can kind of rearrange if we need to create more space, but there's still a lot of space over here. And then in this little boxed off area is some, it's like a utility room and then a bathroom right there, which doesn't have a shower or anything, but we have a shower in here and my parents have a shower in their RV, so that wouldn't be an issue. And then there's some space back here that I was thinking we could bring our bed over and just set up our bed and then create like a curtain partition, and then the RV could be the kids' bedrooms. So the back of our RV, if you're fairly new, the back of our RV has a full bunk house with 4 bunk beds, 4 beds, 2 bunk beds. And then the front of the RV is the master, but we usually put Eloise on her pack and play in there. And then when we're RVing, the underneath the kitchen table folds out into a bed, and that's as big or bigger and more comfortable than the master bed. So Brad and I sleep where the kitchen table is in the living room, and then the twins have their bed and Eloise has her bed. Everybody's happy. So I think we would just make that the kids' bedrooms. We would put them down there, and then we would set up our bed out here and close it off with some curtains. And that's kind of what I'm thinking. In the bathroom here, my dad said it wouldn't take much to, like, there's plumbing and everything already set up. And so he said it wouldn't take much to put in just like a stove, microwave, cooktop, refrigerator, basically. Actually, we probably wouldn't even need a refrigerator because our RVs both have refrigerators. My parents' is a full-size refrigerator. Ours is not a mini fridge, but it's not full-sized. And then we have another refrigerator on the outside of ours. So we probably would not need that. Although we do have at our house a refrigerator in the garage that we could bring over here. And then we would have to think about a washer dryer. And I'm not sure if it's equipped in here to do a washer dryer, but we've been kind of talking through that and figuring out a way that we can make laundry work. It might mean that we don't cloth diaper while we live here, but it would only be for, I'm thinking like 6 months is what the time frame would be. So we'll have to see. But we still have all of this space over here, and all of this stuff can be rearranged so that we have more space. And I'm thinking, you know, we would bring all of our furniture here. So we could set out like the rug, TV, couches, and make a little living room, or we could do it back here and make it cozy and kind of homey and be storing our stuff. So we'd be killing a lot of birds with one stone. We would be storing our stuff here. We would be comfortable because we would have all of the luxuries of home, so to speak. The only real wild card is the air conditioning, and I guess it can get up to 100 degrees in here in the summer without AC. It'll be a little cooler than it is outside, but not, maybe not totally comfortable. But I'm kind of cold-natured, so being at 80 degrees doesn't sound too bad.
Mommy.
Hey guys. Hey Lyndle, do you want to put your shoes back on?
No.
We also brought, she wore her fancy shoes. Do you want to put your other shoes on? The more comfortable ones?
No.
Oh.
Well, I don't put any shoes on.
Well, you probably can't. You probably shouldn't run around here without shoes on. That was a big old jump, Bear. Hey, what's on your shirt?
Move.
That's so cool. What's on your shirt? What's it say?
Bye. I'm happy.
Close.
Smile.
Yes.
That's why I get to smile.
That's why you get to smile, because you're wearing a shirt that says smile. Mom and I are fully excited about this. Dad and Brad, I think, are on the fence. And the kids are excited.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, are you okay? Okay. You bonk your head? This is always dangerous.
Kabunk.
We're obviously back home now, and I got the kids some lunch and switched over some laundries, loaded and started the dishwasher, and kids are getting ready to go down for a nap. And I was just thinking, I don't know if you can hear it in the background, but I have the laundry room door open, and the towels that we're doing are in the dryer right now. And for some reason, I really like that sound. And I think it's because I grew up in a house where the laundry room was right down the hallway from my bedroom, and I guess it was like comforting. I remember when my mom would do laundry, when she pulled clothes out of the dryer, I would run and like lay in the pile of clothes from the dryer and listen to the next cycle of clothes that were on in the dryer. And I really like that sound. We also had an attic fan right there too, and so she would turn that attic fan on and I was in heaven. And so, long story longer, I always leave this door open, and I think Brad gets frustrated with me because it's kind of loud in here. And so he always, when the washer or dryer is running, he always closes that door. And I notice that if I start a load, I'll walk out and leave that door open, and he'll get up and go close that door. But I think it's just like a difference of, it's comforting to me and it's bothersome to him. So I don't know, are you guys bothered by the sound of laundry going, or is that like reminiscent of your childhood and is it comforting to you? I was also thinking about what a huge difference 1 year is in terms of independence for kids their age. Just going from 2.5 to almost 3.5. They're not even close to 3.5. I don't know why I'm saying that. But the independence is unreal. Like during that time they potty trained, so I'm not changing diapers all day long. Other than not being able to wipe themselves, they are pretty independent with going to the bathroom. I don't have to remind them. They can fully dress themselves, mostly undress themselves. They can get their shoes on. It's just a lot of things change from that year where there's a lot less hands-on stuff. And now, I don't know how long ago, we used to have their plates and bowls and stuff. Still need to work on this, but we used to have them all up here and it just wasn't fitting very well. And so now I have it in this drawer and it's working so much better. But not only that, they can pick their own bowl, spoon, fork. If they need a fork, they can get one. If they're thirsty, they can get in here and get a cup and fill it up themselves. And so that makes a huge difference, just having this available to them and within reach of being even more independent. And I always want to be careful to mention that I'm not in a rush for my kids to grow up, and in fact I wish time would slow down. But every little bit of independence that they gain is cool to see, not only because they're growing and they're learning and they're becoming more coordinated, and it's just really cool to watch them like grow into people. And of course it is kind of like a double-edged sword, or it like tugs at my heart a bit, because then that means each day they need me a little bit less. But it's just cool to see. And if we're thinking about kids in the future, which we are, then it's just interesting to me to see where they'll be in another year after coming so far this past year. I just imagine from 3 to 4 is going to be another huge jump in independence. And I feel like 3 was the age I was warned about the most, as far as people would be like, oh, you think terrible twos, wait till you see the 3-nager stage, which for the record, I hate the terminology or the phrasing terrible twos, because they're just not terrible. There's definitely parts of it that are frustrating, but the things that are frustrating or that people complain about a lot can definitely get under my skin. But I've learned, I guess, to, here, baby.